Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with my bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie Jessica. She got all dressed up for book club tonight. We're recording this after book club.
Yeah.
Somebody takes going to book club to a whole new level.
Well, speaking of book club, this video is enemies to lovers, and we have made Mandy very paranoid about a discussion that we had in book club, and she second guessed all of her book choices because we want them to be not mild annoyance to lovers, but actual enemies to lovers, and it just made me a little paranoid too when we were talking about it. But this is going to be enemies to lovers. We're hoping it's not mild annoyance to lovers because some authors like to do that. So, and just label it as enemies. So, yes. Before we start with enemies to lovers, what do you got to tell the lovely people?
Well, you're not our enemies. No. Yep. Because we're so thankful that you're here, and we'd love it if you would hit that subscribe button and hype our video if you have the points. We really appreciate that, and tell your friends to come subscribe too. Also, we do have our giveaway with our 4 books going on. So we're going to do 4. These are the 4 books. I hope I'm pointing in the right direction. And we will, all you have to do is go back to the Brave video, comment on that, and you're entered to win. We will pick 4 people. Like, we'll just start with book 1 and somebody wins book 2, and we'll do that. We'll put everybody's name in like the wheel and try that and see how that goes, and just pick 4 from that. And you have until May 1st. Jessica's going to be so mad. May 1st. We're going with May 1st because she told me we cannot edit anything in this video. So May 1st is when that is. That's what we're doing. May 1st is the deadline to enter.
Sure, we'll let you know if that changes, but for right now, we're going to go with that because it's getting late.
It's correct because we're going to record tea really early on Saturday.
Okay, that's right.
So May 1st is the deadline. Okay. And we also have a Google Doc if you'd like to answer some questions. It's just simply like mark the tropes that you would be interested in seeing a video from us on. It's not every trope. It's just some that we like have gotten 1 or 2 requests on, and we're just curious, or ones that we thought might be interesting, and just like, what are your guys' interests? Would people want to see them or not? Doesn't mean that we're going to do all of them or not do them or whatever. Okay. Sorry.
Are you done?
Are you mad. Done? She's getting mad.
Mandy thinks I'm mad all the time.
This is going to turn into an enemy situation real quick.
Okay. Well, before that happens, let's start talking about the books then. Right?
Yes.
Books. Okay. All right. Well,
yes,
I guess
ma'am.
Okay, so the first book that I have is one I've talked about a couple of times, but we're going to talk about it again because it really is a true enemies to lovers, and that is Your Knife, My Heart by K.M. Moranova. This is about Emery and Cameron. So Emery is she's killed some people. Her dad's a part of the mafia. She's been like a killer for hire, and so she's killed like 1 too many guys at one time, and the government finds out and they're not happy about that. And so instead of like throwing her into prison or you know, sending her to trial or whatever, they make it look like she's died. Like her family believes she's dead, and instead they force her to join this elite forces team, which is like this government ops team that nobody knows about. And when you're on the special forces team, then you have to have this, you're partnered up. And so that is where we meet her partner, which is Cameron. Now, Cameron has been a part of the special forces team for a very long time, but poor Cameron, he's got something broken inside of him, just a little bit. And he murders every single one of his partners that have been out on ops with him. He kind of just goes into a blind rage and just does it. And he's broken. You don't know why. And so they actually pair these 2 up, and she believes he's going to kill her at some point. He is not happy about being paired up with her. He has to basically kind of go back to school or back to the Hunger Games situation and fight his way through and see if he can survive this. And in order to survive this situation, they have to get over the hate that they have for each other and work together. And we'll see how that goes. You know, your turn.
Oh my gosh. Okay. My first enemies to lovers is rivals to lovers, but they really do not like each other. Okay. and that is Overtake by S.J. Silvis. So we have Tess and Rome. So Tess's family is a racing family, and she is one of their head engineers. And Rome drives for another team, and the dads do not get along. They used to be partners, and now they're rivals. So both of them have grown up in very stiff competition, rivals, and they just don't like each other. Like, really, really do not like each other at all. And Rome is in a situation where his dad is making really bad choices and almost gets him killed in a race because he's trying to win. So he's cheating. And Rome is like, I don't want any part of this. So he leaves. And Tess's family needs somebody to come and drive for them. Her dad's kind of stepping back, and they need another driver. And the dad makes a deal with Rome to come drive for them. And Tess is pissed when she finds out that the new driver is Rome. Rome is none too thrilled to be there either, but he's trying to get out from underneath his dad. So this is a fantastic racing book. I loved all of that in this, but also the two of them really do have that enemies to lovers vibe going on. It is not mild annoyance. There is some deep seated, like, rivalry and hatred towards one another, which just really makes it all the much better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, the next book that I have for the enemies to lovers list here that we have is actually a post-apocalyptic alien romance. But they're very humanoid. They're actually on Earth when this happens. So anyhow, so this is Lord of Population by Elizabeth Stevens. This one, there is audio out for this now. It came out like I think last year or something. So this is about Cain and Abel. So Abel is our heroine, and she is just trying to survive this alien invasion that has created the apocalypse to happen. And these aliens are not good to humans. Like, humans are barely surviving. Like, we've got no food, nothing. And if an alien sees you, you know, you're pretty much toast at this point. So they're kind of hiding out. And she's with her best friend and her best friend's little girl when they stumble upon basically a big fight between two different aliens. And these aliens are a lot bigger. They've got some things going on. I mean, like, they're very humanoid, but they're very tall and big guys. There's like a fight that is happening between a group of aliens and this other alien, and that is where we meet Cain. And something bad really happens with the friend and the friend's little girl, and she is just trying to survive and like get out of this situation. And so she ends up stealing something from the dying alien on the ground, who is Cain. And she thinks that he is dead. Like, she thinks that he's dying. She takes something from him and she runs with it. And little does she know he's going to show up at her house, or where she's hiding out, and insist on following her around and being with her. But they really do hate each other. Like, he doesn't care if she survives or not, but for some reason he's kind of glomming onto her or sticking with her. And she wants nothing to do with him because he is the race that has taken out everybody she loves. And so it really is like this true enemies to lovers. It is good though. Very good.
Okay. Okay. My next one does not actually come out until Monday,
Okay.
the 27th.
Okay.
But it's very enemies to lovers, like true enemies to lovers. So I'm going to go ahead and wreck it. Just put it on your TBR. Go pre-order it if you're watching this on Saturday or Sunday. Otherwise, on Monday, you can just grab it. And that is Midnight Prince by Julie Saman. I would really recommend reading the first book in this series before this one, because it really flows together and you'll understand the enemies to lovers a lot better. So in this one, we have Prince Rowan and at Sebastian, who is the king. So Rowan and Sebastian are brothers. And at his wedding, he meets this woman who's there, and they have a one night stand, and he is devastated when he wakes up the next morning and finds out she's gone. And because he can, he goes to his people and is like, hey, check the cameras. I want to know who this woman is. Like, check the guest list. And well, he starts with the guest list, and he can't find her on there. So then they check the cameras, and basically somehow she slips in and slips out, and they don't know who she is. And then we fast forward later, and she is now there in disguise working. And he keeps running into Marcella, and he feels like there's something about her that he recognizes, but he can't quite place it yet. Well, here's the thing of where we get to the enemies to lovers. Marcella is there because she believes that King Sebastian is the reason her brother, who she loved deeply, is dead. And she hates this family. She's been raised to hate this family. And she is there to take them down, basically. And Rowan knows her family and they hate him because they believe he was responsible for some pretty rough stuff that went down. And so the two families despise each other. And now they have hooked up, but Rowan doesn't know that it's her. She knows who he was, but still hates his family and is there to take him down. So, very complicated storyline. They do not like each other at all. Like, he hates her family hates his family, but it's very messy, very complicated. Enemies to lovers.
Okay.
To possible enemies again.
Okay.
It's like enemies to one night stand, enemies again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So the next book I've got to talk about is Killa by BJ Alpha. So this is book 1. Book 2 will be out later this summer. But this is about Cass and Killa, or Colton is his government name. So this is an MC. This just recently came out. So it is book 1 in her Unholy Savages series. So at the beginning of this book, we see Killa in a courtroom. There's a courtroom situation. There's a guy that is on trial, and he's on trial for human trafficking, and possibly he's possibly murdered all these people, but he's on court for, or on trial for human trafficking. And Killa's sister is someone that is believed to have been one of his victims, and Killa just wants to know what happened to his sister. Has not, they don't know what happened to her. She's gone. And that is when he looks over and he sees Cass sitting in a different part of the courtroom, and Cass is the younger sister to this guy who is on trial. And so he decides that he is going to get revenge, and it takes a while for him to find her because she kind of goes into like a witness protection situation, but he is going to find her and he is going to get revenge on her because she's the younger sister, until she tells him the things he wants to know and where his sister is. And so he actually breaks into her apartment. It's like a whole thing. She doesn't know, like, she's taken off guard. She's actually a mom to a young child, and there's this guy who keeps coming in and he hates her, and he tells her how much he hates her over and over and over again, and it's just very, very intense. And it is so good, so good.
All right.
Okay.
Next, my next rec, I really felt confident fit under enemies to lovers, and in the process of questioning myself, this may be more of intense dislike.
Okay.
Given the circumstances, but it is marketed as enemies to lovers, and I feel the reason they don't like each other is legit, and you do truly see the two of them not liking each other. So you definitely get the enemies vibes. Okay. So, and that is Cash by Jessica Peterson. So in this, we have Molly, her strange dad has passed away. She has been summoned to his ranch for the reading of the will. She is his only child, so she believes she's there to inherit everything. Cash has been working and managing this farm for several years. Him and his brothers have their own farm, but their ranch, I should say, their ranch is really struggling and they need the extra money. So that's why Cash is running this other ranch. And in his conversations with Molly's dad, I forgot his name, he has led Cash to believe that if anything ever happens, he's inheriting the ranch. So he's sitting there thinking he's inheriting this ranch and his problems are really going to be solved for being able to save his own family's ranch as well. And Molly thinks that she's just going to come get the ranch, sell it, and then she can go ahead and continue her business that she's running with her friend. And they desperately need money for it. They're like at that, when you start a business, you need a lot of money before you can even start making money. And she desperately needs this cash to get her business really going. So both of them are sitting there thinking these things, and Cash is floored to find out that the entire operation has been left to Molly. And Molly is floored to find out that the entire operation is hers after she lives there and runs it for, I think it's like a year. And she has to be there before she can sell it or do anything with it. So her and Cash already do not like each other just from there's like intense conversation between the two of them at this meeting. And Molly decides to go live at the ranch because she really needs the money. Cash is pissed because he knows that she's the city girl and she's just going to sell the ranch, and he's just angry about it, and he's not happy with Molly. Molly is not happy with him, and the two of them have some very intense enemies situations going on. But as you know, the more the dislike, the better the spice, right?
So true. The more intense it gets. Okay, so the next book I have is Mafia, but they really do hate each other. So this is Married with Malice by Cora Brent, and this one is about Annalisa and Luca, because it's always a Luca. But anyhow, Annalisa and Luca. So Luca is a reluctant mafia enforcer. It's not really what he wants to do, but that's what he's doing. And he was supposed to marry Annalisa's sister. Annalisa's sister ran off with the meat man. So the guy actually, I think he was a pro baseball player or something, and now he has a meat truck, like where he sells food out of it. And so they call him the meat man. It's the comedic relief in this book. But Annalisa and Luca grew up together. They were in high school together. He was her high school bully. He took her to her prom and then left to have a threesome with two other girls. They hate each other.
What
They
the
have hated
hell
each other.
are
I
you
know,
reading?
I know. We see that in flashbacks or hear about it when she talks about it. They're forced to get married now that her sister ran off with the meat man. She is now forced to marry Luca. And, they just don't like each other at all.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the book that I mentioned during book club for enemies to lovers. So here we go.
Okay.
So that is The Summer I Destroyed You by Elizabeth O'Rourke. And this is book number 4 in the summer series. So in this, we have Emmy, who has come back to this town, and she works for a big developer, and she is out to destroy the town. Like, she's not just there to develop this beautiful vision. She is there because she hates this town and she wants them to suffer because she went to school there, and she's there for revenge. It didn't go well, so she's just back for revenge. Meanwhile, we have Liam, who has lived here. He has a construction business here, and he loves the town, and he is trying really hard to save pieces of it. And he's working on trying to get a place listed as a historical place so that they can save it and keep it from being developed. And he's donating like his time and money and resources and things to do this. But, he's one guy and he's not got a major developer behind him, right? So he is there for that. The two of them butt heads a lot. They do not like each other because he's there. Like, he's trying to save this place. She's trying to destroy it. And she's got the financial backing behind her. And so the two of them really butt heads on this. There's definite enemies to lovers vibes. And it really kind of blows up in their faces because she's set to do this and he doesn't want it to happen. But this is her job as well. So how is all of that going to work out? So I think one thing with enemies, oops, hello, Jessica. One thing I think with enemies to lovers is you have to feel like the tension. And so I know, like in some enemies to lovers, we want them like ready to kill each other and maybe plotting each other's death and stuff like what was mentioned. But I also think that in a good enemies to lovers, there has to be like this tension between the people. They have to really dislike each other, or have like this catalyst, like in this situation. So I feel like it fits the bill. They're not mildly annoyed with each other. They're like, these are life-changing, situations. So I
Okay.
hope people enjoy that one.
All right.
Now that
Okay.
I've second guessed everything about this video.
Yeah, I know. Me too. All
And
right.
that
Well,
was
the
our
last.
own doing. That wasn't
Yeah. No. No, that was
anybody
us.
else's. Just,
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
we
us.
agree with all those points. We don't
Yeah.
want mild annoyance in our
We made
enemies to
ourselves
lovers.
paranoid. Enemies to lovers is hard because a lot of authors will market it as enemies to lovers, and again, it's mild annoyance, and so it's really hard to find a good enemies to lovers. So we try.
Or one person really despises the other person has no idea,
Yes, that too.
you know?
Yep. So, okay. Well, the last recommendation I have is Sleigh Ride by Lauren Beale. This is book 2 in her Slaycation series. I really suggest you start with book 1, which is, I don't remember what it's called. Sinner's Retreat. That's what it's called. Because you get a better understanding of what's happening across all the books. So I'm on the 3rd book right now. I'm enjoying it. So this one is about Kat and Bennett. We first meet Kat and Bennett in book 1. And Bennett is the brother to the hero in book 1, and Kat is the apprentice or the assistant to the heroine in book 1. And they hate each other from the get-go. Like, it is constant bickering, constant annoying each other, constantly, griping at each other. And the whole premise behind these is this is where a bunch of serial killers get together on a vacation and they play games with what they call cattle, who are like they're people that are have been in prison and whatever for various crimes. The majority of them are for harming children or women, and so they justify their murder sprees that way. But anyhow, so Kat and Bennett at this point there's another retreat happening. It is happening in Alaska and in the wintertime in Alaska, and they get thrown together. In the beginning, they're out doing some shooting of things. Bennett is giving Kat a hard time because she has yet to make her first kill. She hates him, so he just annoys the crap out of her. When something happens and they get stuck in a snowstorm in a cabin together, and they are forced to work their crap out, which leads to a secret romance because they don't want people to know, because they've hated each other for so long. They're afraid people are going to judge them, and it's like a whole thing. Loved it. You can't take these books too seriously. They're dark rom-coms, but there's things that are happening and you're like, oh my gosh, what? But also, like, weird things happen. Bennett's got a thing with food and sex, and it's like a whole thing. But Lauren likes to push the envelope, and she really does. She pushes it. But
Okay.
I'm really enjoying the 3rd book, just so we all know. Okay, next.
Well, my
last.
book recs were contemporary. I'm going to market this next one for the purpose of this video as contemporary enemies to lovers, because it's similar. It's not similar. I was going to say it's similar to The Summer I Destroyed You, but it's really not. It's very, very different because they don't know each other. Like, there's no past. Where she came back wanting revenge, like deep-seated revenge on this town. This is not this book. So they're not similar, but the premise is going to sound similar because it's a development situation. Anyways, You, Me, and Forever by Laura Pavlov. So we have Montana and Miles. So Montana and her bestie live in Blushing, Alaska, and they run a wedding venue there, our wedding planning business, and they use this particular seaside inn there. I don't know if it was actually called a seaside inn. It's a hotel. No, it is called the Seaside Inn. Sorry. And they run that there. And this is the place where her father works. She has all these fond memories of growing up there and loves the place. And they hold their weddings there. And this is kind of like a destination wedding place. And they have some high named clients. Well, Miles has recently purchased this inn and is set to tear it down and build some monstrous thing there, and she is pissed about it because he's taking out her wedding venue place, and he doesn't care about the history of their town or the people that work there, the people that are going to get misplaced. And so she is a huge thorn in his side because she does not want this development to happen, and he is, yeah, a huge, obviously, thorn in her side because he's going to tear this place down that means a lot to her and basically get rid of her. Like, this is where they hold their weddings, right?
Yeah.
Kind of makes it a little complicated. So they definitely are enemies in that sense. But it is also a romance, so the two of them are going to fall for each other.
I mean, it's inevitable. They're all romances. So, All right. Well, there we go. There are 10. We're hoping they were enemies to lovers and not mild annoyance to lovers.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. Wrap her up.
All right. Well, give us some enemies to lovers in the comments. We have done this video a couple of times before, so you could go check those ones out. But again, we don't know. We can't guarantee anything. No, I'm kidding. They should be. We
Yes.
felt they were enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
Everybody can critique things differently. It's kind of like dark romance.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people, need pitch black for it to even be considered dark romance, and some people slightly gray and they're like dark romance. So
Yep,
hopefully
exactly.
our enemies to lovers, Rex, you got a good sampling. Maybe that's a good way to say it. So make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for new videos from us, and sometimes Wednesdays, especially this next Wednesday, there should be one. And also hit that subscribe button. We love having you here. Don't forget to go enter for our giveaway, because this is the 26 books of 2026 giveaway.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.